Captain Jake Morrison walked slowly across the bridge of the massive warship. The metal floor beneath his boots felt solid and strong. Through the large windows in front of him, he could see stars scattered across the black of space like tiny diamonds. He had been traveling for 3 months to reach this place. The ship was called the Thunderstrike. It was the biggest and most powerful warship that Earth had ever built. The vessel stretched almost 2 kilometers from front to back. It carried weapons that no alien race had ever seen before. Most importantly, it carried 5,000 of Earth's best soldiers and crew members. Jake stopped walking and looked at the main screen. Numbers and letters moved across it quickly. His second-in-command, Lisa Hayes, stood next to a control panel. She was reading the information that came from their sensors. "Captain," Lisa said without looking up from her screen, "we are getting close to the target system. The computers show we will arrive in about 10 minutes. Jake nodded. He had been waiting for this moment for a long time. Earth had received messages from human colonies asking for help. An alien group called the Hegemony was attacking independent worlds. They were taking over planets and forcing the people there to serve them. The Hegemony thought they were strong. They had conquered many worlds before, used big fleets of ships with powerful energy weapons. Most races in the galaxy were afraid of them. But the Hegemony had never fought humans before. "Sir, I am detecting something," said Alex Carter. From his station, he was young but very good at reading sensor information. His hands moved quickly over the controls. "There are many ships in the system ahead of us, counted at least 40 vessels." Jake walked over to Alex's station. The screen showed red dots scattered around a planet. Each dot was an enemy ship. Some were small and fast. Others were large battleships that could destroy entire cities. "What types of ships are they?" Jake asked. Alex looked more closely at his readings. "Mixed fleets, sir. I see cruisers, destroyers, and at least 6 heavy battleships. They're all positioned around the 4th planet in the system." Jake knew that planet well. It was called New Dallas. 20,000 humans lived there. They had built farms and cities on the surface. The Hegemony wanted to take the planet because it had valuable minerals underground. "Are our weapons ready?" Jake asked. Danny Walsh looked up from his engineering station. He was responsible for keeping all the ship's systems working. "All weapons are loaded and ready, Captain. The kinetic cannons have full ammunition. The missile tubes are loaded. Energy shields are at maximum power." Jake smiled slightly. The aliens would be surprised when they saw what human weapons could do. Most races in the galaxy used energy beams and plasma cannons. Their battles lasted for hours as ships slowly wore down each other's shields. Humans had learned to fight differently. They'd spent thousands of years fighting wars on Earth. They had learned that the best way to win was to hit hard and fast. Human weapons were designed to destroy the enemy. "Quickly, Rachel, are you picking up any communications?" Jake asked. Rachel Stone sat at the communications station. She wore headphones and listened to radio signals from space. "Yes, sir. I am hearing lots of talk between the enemy ships, universal translators working on their language." "Are they saying?" Rachel listened for a moment. "They seem to be preparing for some kind of ceremony. I think they are about to demand surrender from the colony below." Jake's face became hard. He had seen what the Hegemony did to colonies that surrendered. It took all the valuable resources and forced the people to work as slaves. Many died from hard labor and poor treatment. "Not today," Jake said quietly. The Thunderstrike moved closer to the edge of the star system. Ship's engines made almost no noise. Human technology was different from alien technology in many ways. Where alien ships were bright and colorful, human ships were dark gray and hard to see. On the main screen, the enemy fleet became clearer. The ships had smooth curves and bright colors. They looked beautiful, but not very strong. Jake could see that their hulls were thin. They depended on energy shields for protection. "Captain, they have detected us," Alex reported. "The enemy fleet is moving into attack formation." Jake watched as the alien ships moved into a large circle. It was a standard Hegemony battle formation. They would try to surround the human ship and attack from all sides. It had worked against every other race they had fought. "Sir, we are receiving a communication from the enemy fleet," Rachel said. "Put it on the main speaker." A strange voice filled the bridge. The universal translator changed the alien words into English. Unknown vessel, you are entering hegemony. Space. Identify yourself and prepare to be boarded.
Ow.
Resistance will result in your destruction. Jake looked around at his crew. Lisa stood ready at her station. Alex watched the enemy ships carefully. Danny made sure all systems were working perfectly. Rachel listened to enemy communications. Every person on the bridge was calm and ready. Rachel, open a channel to the enemy fleet. Channel open, sir. Jake stepped forward. His voice was steady and strong. This is Captain Jake Morrison of the Earth vessel Thunderstrike. You are attacking human colonies. Leave this system immediately, or we will destroy you. There was silence for a moment. Then the alien voice came back. This time it sounded amused. One ship against 40? You must be either very brave or very stupid. Prepare to die. The communication ended. On the screen, Jake could see the enemy ships moving closer. Their weapons were charging with bright energy. In a few minutes, they would be close enough to attack. Jake turned to his crew. All hands, prepare for battle. This is what we came here to do. Show them what humans can do when someone threatens our people. Lisa activated the ship's battle stations. Red lights flashed throughout the vessel. Loudspeakers announced that combat was about to begin. 5,000 crew members moved to their positions. Weapons ready, Captain, Danny reported. Shields. At full power, Alex added. Enemy fleet is almost in range, Lisa said. Jake looked out at the stars one more time. Somewhere down on the planet below, 20,000 humans were waiting to see if help had really come. The hegemony thought they were about to destroy another small ship from a weak race. They were about to learn that humans were different from every other species in the galaxy. They were about to discover why Earth's children had survived and thrived on a dangerous world full of predators and natural disasters. All weapons, Jake said calmly. Fire at will. The first shots came from the alien ships. Bright beams of energy shot across space toward the Thunderstrike. The beams hit the human ship's shields and made them glow with blue light. The shields held strong against the attack. Captain Jake Morrison watched the enemy weapons hit his ship. The aliens were using plasma cannons and energy beams, just like his intelligence reports had said. Their weapons were powerful but slow. Each shot took several seconds to reach its target. Shields down. To 90%, Alex Carter reported from his station. No damage to the hull. Jake nodded. The alien weapons were exactly what he had expected. They were designed for long battles between ships with heavy shields. The hegemony was used to fighting enemies who used the same type of weapons they did. Are our kinetic cannons ready? Jake asked. Danny Walsh looked at his engineering controls. All 6 cannons are loaded and ready to fire, Captain. We have solid metal slugs in each barrel. They're heated to maximum temperature. Target the closest enemy cruiser, Jake ordered. Fire Cannon 1. The Thunderstrike shook slightly as the first kinetic cannon fired. A piece of metal the size of a car shot out of the barrel at incredible speed. The metal slug moved so fast that it was almost invisible. It crossed the distance to the enemy ship in less than a second. The alien cruiser's energy shields tried to stop the metal slug. Energy shields were very good at stopping plasma beams and laser fire. But they could not stop solid objects moving at such high speed. The metal slug punched through the shields. It's like they were not there. The slug hit the alien ship's hull and went completely through it. The metal was so hot and moving so fast that it melted everything it touched. The enemy cruiser broke in two, to pieces. Explosions lit up the inside of both pieces before they went dark. The entire alien fleet stopped moving for a moment. They had never seen anything like what just happened. Their cruiser had been destroyed by a single shot from a weapon. They did not understand. Sir, the enemy ships are trying to communicate with each other, Rachel Stone reported. I am hearing a lot of panic in their voices. They keep asking what kind of weapon we used. Jake smiled. The aliens had no idea what they were dealing with. Fire cannons 2 and 3. Target the destroyers on our left side. 2 more kinetic. Cannons fired at the same time. Some more metal slugs shot across space faster than the eye could follow. They hit 2 alien destroyers at exactly the same moment. Both ships exploded in bright flashes of light and metal. Direct hits, Alex announced. Both targets destroyed. The alien fleet finally started to react. The remaining ships began to move faster and changed their positions. They were trying to make themselves harder to hit. Some ships fired more energy beams at the thunderstrike. Shields down to 85%, Alex reported. Lisa Hayes watched the enemy movements on her tactical screen. Captain, they are trying to surround us. 6 ships are moving to attack from behind while the others keep us busy. Jake looked. At the display, the aliens were using a smart tactic. If they could attack from multiple directions at once, they might be able to overwhelm the human ship's shields. Danny, prepare the missile tubes, Jake ordered. Load the smart missiles with the new warheads. Danny's hands moved quickly over his controls. Missile tubes 1 through 8 are ready, Captain. Each missile has a nuclear warhead and target seeking guidance. The alien ships behind them were getting closer. Jake could see them on the rear cameras. They thought they were being clever by attacking from an unexpected direction. Fire all 8 missiles at the ships behind us, Jake commanded. 8 missiles shot out of the Thunderstrike's rear tubes. Unlike the kinetic cannons, the missiles were not invisible. They left bright trails of fire as they moved through space. But they were still much faster than any alien weapon. The missiles had small computers inside them. These computers could think and make decisions on their own. Each missile picked a different target and adjusted its course to hit that target. The alien ships tried to shoot down the missiles with their defensive weapons. They managed to destroy 2 missiles before they reached their targets. But 6 missiles got through the defensive fire. When the nuclear warheads exploded, they created balls of fire brighter than small suns. The alien ships closest to the explosions were vaporized instantly. Ships further away were damaged by the heat and radiation. 6 enemy ships destroyed, Alex reported. 2 more are heavily damaged and not moving. Rachel listened to the alien communications again. Captain, they are very scared now. I hear words that mean runaway and demons and impossible. Jake could understand why the aliens were afraid. In less than 5 minutes, the human ship had destroyed 11 enemy vessels. The aliens had been expecting a long battle that would last for hours. Instead, they were being destroyed faster than they could react. Sir, the remaining ships are trying to retreat, Lisa announced. They are moving toward the edge of the system. Jake had been expecting this. Most alien races would try to run away when a battle turned against them, but he could not let them escape. If they got away, they would tell the rest of the hegemony about human weapons. The next time, the aliens would come with more ships. Danny, activate the gravity drive, Jake ordered. Danny pressed several buttons on his panel. Deep inside the Thunderstrike, a special engine started working. This engine could change the gravity around the ship. It was one of humanity's newest technologies. The space around the fleeing alien ships began to change. Invisible forces pulled at their hulls and engines. The aliens found that their ships could not accelerate anymore. The gravity was too strong for them to escape. All enemy ships are trapped, Captain, Alex reported. They cannot reach jump speed. The alien fleet was now completely helpless. Their ships were stuck in the gravity field and could not move fast enough to escape. Their weapons could not hurt the human ship in any meaningful way. Jake opened a communication channel to the enemy fleet. Alien ships, this is your final warning. Surrender now or be destroyed. You have 30 seconds to decide. Right. The answer came quickly. The alien commander's voice was full of fear. We surrender. Please do not destroy us. We will leave this system and never return. Jake thought for a moment. He could destroy all the remaining ships easily, but letting some aliens live might be more useful. It would spread the word about what happened here. You may leave, Jake said finally. But if any hegemony ship enters human space again, we will show no mercy. Danny turned off the gravity drive. The alien ships immediately began to accelerate toward the edge of the system. They moved as fast as their engines could carry them. As Jake watched the aliens flee, he knew that something important had just happened. Word of this battle would spread across the galaxy very quickly. Every alien race would hear about the day that one human ship destroyed most of a Gemini fleet. The galaxy was about to learn that Earth's children were not like other species. They were about to discover why humans had become the dominant predators on their dangerous homeworld. News of the battle spread across the galaxy faster than any ship could travel. The surviving hegemony vessels had sent emergency messages to their homeworlds before they escaped. Within hours, every major alien government knew about the human warship that had destroyed an entire fleet on the planet Zarian Prime. President Valandra of the Galactic Council called an emergency meeting. The council chamber was a massive dome filled with representatives from hundreds of different species. Today, they were all talking about the same thing. The reports cannot be true, said Ambassador Kethrin from the Zephyrian Empire. His blue skin was pale with worry. One ship cannot destroy 40 vessels in minutes. It is impossible. President Valandra looked at the data on her screen. She had received 3 different reports from hegemony survivors. All the reports said the same thing. The human ship had used weapons that no one understood. The evidence is clear, she said to the council. The humans have technology that is far beyond anything we have seen. Their weapons can punch through energy shields like they do not exist. A representative from the Crystalline Collective stood up. His body was made of living crystal that glowed with soft light. What kind of weapons are these humans using? Our scientists need to understand how they work. Valandra touched her control panel. A large screen showed pictures from the battle. The images had been taken by sensors on the hegemony ships before they were destroyed. Watch carefully, she said. The council members saw the human ship fire what looked like small objects. The objects moved so fast they were almost invisible. When they hit the alien ships, the vessels exploded or broke apart completely. Our scientists believe the humans are using kinetic weapons, Valandra explained. They fire solid metal at extremely high speeds. Our energy shields cannot stop solid objects moving that fast. The chamber was quiet for a long moment. Every species in the galaxy used energy weapons. They had been fighting wars with plasma cannons and laser beams for thousands of years. The idea of using simple metal as a weapon seemed primitive. But that is so basic, said the Zephyrian ambassador. We stopped using solid projectiles millions of years ago.
Why would an advanced species use such old technology?
Because it works? Valandra replied. Our energy shields are designed to stop energy attacks. We never thought someone would use metal bullets in space combat. Meanwhile, Captain Jake Morrison was learning just how much his victory had changed things. The Thunderstrike was still in the New Dallas system. Jake had sent teams down to the planet to check on the human colonists. Lieutenant Pete Rodriguez came back from the planet with interesting news. Captain, the colonists are safe, but something strange happened while we were down there.
What?
Kind of strange? Jake asked. 3 different alien ships approached the planet while we were on the surface. When they detected our ship in orbit, they immediately turned around and left. They did not even try to communicate. Jake was surprised. It was unusual for alien ships to avoid contact completely. Most species were curious about new technology and wanted to trade or learn. Did you identify what kind of ships they were? Yes, sir. One was a Vorthok trader. One was a science vessel from the Academic Union. The third one was a patrol ship from the Free Worlds Alliance. Jake thought about this information. The Free Worlds Alliance was supposed to be friendly to humans, if even their ships were avoiding contact. Then news of the battle had spread very far, very fast. Dr. Maria Santos, ship's science officer, had been studying the wreckage from the destroyed hegemony ships. She came to Jake's office with her report. Captain, I have been examining the alien technology. Found something very interesting. What did you find? Maria sat down and opened her data pad. The hegemony weapons are actually more advanced than ours in many ways. Their energy cannons can produce more power than our nuclear reactors. Their shields can absorb enormous amounts of energy. Jake was confused, but our weapons destroyed them easily. That is exactly the point, Maria explained. Their technology is designed for a completely different type of warfare. Expect long battles where ships slowly wear down each other's defenses. They have never fought an enemy that tries to destroy them as quickly as possible, Jake began. To understand, So our weapons work because they are simple and brutal.
Exactly.
While other species were perfecting energy weapons and shields, humans were perfecting ways to kill efficiently. We learned to fight total wars where the goal was complete destruction of the enemy. This made Jake think about human history. Humans had fought thousands of wars on Earth. They had learned that the fastest way to end a conflict was to make the enemy unable to fight back. Other species seemed to treat war more like a formal competition. Rachel Stone brought Jake more interesting. News from the communications center. Captain, we are receiving surrender messages from alien governments. 7 different species have sent messages saying they will not interfere with human activities. Surrender messages? We have not attacked anyone except the hegemony. I know, sir, but they are afraid we might attack them next. Some of the messages offer to pay tribute to Earth if we promise not to destroy their worlds. Jake was amazed. The battle at New Dallas had been meant to rescue human colonists. He had not intended to frighten the entire galaxy. But that seemed to be exactly what had happened. Over the next few days, more reports came in. Pirate attacks on merchant ships had stopped completely. Several ongoing wars between alien species had ended in immediate peace treaties. 3 different governments had offered to sell weapons technology to Earth. Lisa Hayes brought Jake the most surprising news of all. Captain, we just received a message from the Galactic Council. They are inviting Earth to join as a full member with voting rights. Jake read the message carefully. The Galactic Council had never offered full membership to a species so quickly. Usually, new species had to wait hundreds of years and prove themselves worthy. They are afraid of us, Jake realized. They want to keep us happy, so we do not attack them. It seems that way, Lisa agreed. They are also offering us protection, rights over human colonies and trade routes. Jake looked out at the stars through his office window. When he had left Earth, humans were a small species trying to find their place in the galaxy. Now it seemed like they had found their place by accident. They had become the most feared military power in known space. The funny thing was that Jake had only wanted to help some human farmers on a distant planet. He had never planned to change the balance of power in the galaxy. But one battle had been enough to show every alien species that humans were different. They were different because they came from a world where everything tried to kill them. They had learned to be better predators than anything else they met. Now the galaxy was learning that lesson too. 6 months had passed since the battle at New Dallas. Admiral Jake Morrison stood on the bridge of his flagship, watching as 11 other human warships moved through space beside him. Their weapons were against alien technology. The galaxy had changed completely. The hegemony empire had fallen apart when most of their member species decided to leave rather than fight humans. 17 different alien governments had signed peace treaties with Earth without ever being attacked. The biggest change was that space pirates had almost disappeared from the major shipping routes. Admiral, we are receiving a distress call. From the Meridian system, reported Commander Lisa Hayes from her station. She was now captain of her own ship, the USV Stormbreaker, but she was visiting Jake's flagship for this mission. What kind of distress call? Jake asked. It is from the local government. They say a group of raiders is demanding tribute from merchant ships. The raiders have 6 ships and are threatening to attack the main trade station. Jake looked at the star map on his screen. The Meridian system was an important trading hub where many different species came to buy and sell goods. It was supposed to be neutral territory that no one was allowed to attack. How far away are we? 3 hours at maximum speed, Lisa replied. Jake nodded. Set course for Meridian. Send a message to the raiders. Tell them they have 1 hour too. Leave the system before we arrive. Lisa smiled. Yes, sir. Should I mention that we are human ships? No need. We'll figure it out soon enough. The human fleet changed direction and accelerated toward the Meridian system.
How?
Jake knew that word would spread quickly about their approach. The quantum communication network would carry news of the human ships faster than the ships themselves. Could travel. On the bridge of the Raider flagship, Captain Vorthok received the message about incoming ships. He was a member of the Saurian species, large reptile-like beings who are known for being aggressive and difficult to frighten. 1 hour to leave? Vorthok laughed and showed his sharp teeth. Who dares to threaten us? We have 6 heavy cruisers. His lieutenant, a smaller Saurian named Keshtel, checked the communication logs. Sir, the message came from the Earth fleet that is approaching our position. Vorthok stopped laughing. His yellow eyes went wide with fear. Earth fleet. Ships, 12 vessels, sir. They will arrive in 47 minutes. Vorthok had heard the stories about human ships. Every pirate and raider in the galaxy knew what had happened to the hegemony fleet. The humans had destroyed 40 ships in minutes, using weapons that no one understood. All ships, retreat immediately, Vorthok ordered. Maximum speed to the edge of the system. But sir, we outnumber them, Keshtel protested. 6 ships against 12 is not impossible odds. Vorthok grabbed his lieutenant. By the throat, you fool. These are not normal ships. These are human ships. They do not fight like other species. They fight to kill everything that moves. The raider fleet began to retreat as fast as their engines could carry them. They had been demanding tribute from merchant ships for weeks. Now they were running away from an enemy they had never even seen. When Jake's fleet arrived at Meridian, they found the raiders were already gone. The space station sent grateful messages thanking the humans for their help. Several merchant ships offered to pay the human fleet for their protection. Admiral, this is the 15th time this has happened, reported Lieutenant Commander Alex Carter, who was now Jake's intelligence officer. Raiders and pirates are fleeing just from hearing that human ships are coming. Jake was amazed by how much the galaxy had changed. When he first left Earth, pirates were a major problem for merchant ships. Now they were too afraid to operate. In any system where humans might appear, Sir, we are receiving a message from Earth Command, Rachel Stone announced. She was now the fleet's chief communications officer. Put it through. The message was from Admiral Sarah Wilson, who commanded all human space forces. Jake, the Galactic Council wants to meet with you. They're offering Earth a permanent seat. On their security committee, Jake was not surprised. The Galactic Council had been trying to make humans happy ever since the battle at New Dallas. They had already given Earth voting rights and territory concessions. Now they wanted humans to help keep peace in the galaxy. Dr. Maria Santos, who had become the fleet's chief science advisor, brought Jake an interesting report. Admiral, I have been studying the psychological effects of our presence on other species. What did you find? Most alien species view warfare as a formal activity with rules and traditions. They expect battles to last for hours or days, while both sides follow established procedures. When they see human ships, they remember that we destroy enemies in minutes without following any rules. Now Jake understood what she meant. Humans had learned to fight by watching predators on Earth. They had learned that the best way to survive was to be more dangerous than anything that threatened them. Other species had apparently never learned this lesson. Commander Pete Rodriguez, who now led all human ground forces, had similar observations. Admiral, I have been working with alien security forces on several worlds. They are excellent at preventing crime and maintaining order, but they have no idea how to fight a real war. How do you mean? They think war is like a sport with rules and referees. They cannot understand why humans try to destroy enemies completely instead of just defeating them. Jake looked out at the stars and thought about what his officers were telling him. Humans had accidentally become the galaxy's police force, simply. Because other species were afraid of them, they had not conquered anyone or demanded tribute. They had just shown that they were willing to fight harder than anyone else. The irony was that humans wanted peace more than most species. Earth had sent the Thunderstrike to help colonists, not to start a war, but their willingness to fight had made them the most powerful force in the galaxy. Over the next few weeks, Jake received reports from across human space. The colonies were safe and growing. Trade was booming because merchant ships no longer feared pirates. Several alien species were asking for permission to settle on human worlds because they felt safer there. The most interesting report came from the old hegemony territory. Without their military power, the hegemony had collapsed completely. Worlds they had conquered were now free and independent. Many of them had asked to join a new alliance with Earth. As the protector, Jake realized that humans had won something more valuable than territory or resources. They had won respect through strength. the galaxy no longer saw them as a small, unimportant species. They saw them as guardians who could protect the weak from the strong. As Jake wrote his final report to Earth Command, he reflected on how much had changed. The galaxy had frozen in fear when Earth's warships arrived. But that fear had brought peace to more worlds than any treaty or alliance ever had. The age of human dominance had begun, not through conquest, but through the simple demonstration that Earth's children were the most dangerous predators in the galaxy. Sometimes the most primitive advantage was also the most powerful.